The news has been crazy this week, but I don't cover the news. I just do MMA stuff, so we're kind of dry. CK's gone. Nepal's in shambles. Lots of unalive. All right, saving the algorithm there. But I'm just here to talk about MMA stuff. So, we will talk about it. We got Alexander Usyk. We got Jon Jones. We got the White House card. Dana White Contender Series breakdown. Fights that were announced. Some more stuff. We'll get to it. We're going to start with Usyk, though. Alexander Usyk is under investigation from the World Boxing Organization. Is that what it is? World Boxing Organization? He's under investigation because he claims since his Daniel Dubois fight, he had a Daniel Dubois fight in July. Knocked him out in whatever round. He was ordered to start negotiations for someone named Parker. I don't know. On July 24th. However, his team submitted medical reports citing a back injury, and he got a 90-day suspension so that he could recover from his back. The suspension is not in fighting. If you don't know, a suspension is not a negative thing. You're medically suspended from contact or from fighting if you are injured, because legally, why would you fight injured? Like, why would your company let you do that? Like, it's illegal. They make it so that it's illegal for you to fight. So he got a 90-day no contact suspension to recover from his back injury. However, video came out in this last week. WBO investigating him. I don't know what will come of this. Next, the UFC has officialized the UFC White House card. Originally, it was meant to happen on July 4th, 2026. Don't know what happened, but they can't do it on July 4th, 2026, so it's been moved to June 2026, which makes no sense. Why would you have a fight at the White House? I understand why it's on July 4th. What's the point of having it at some random day in June? Maybe Juneteenth. A bunch of information came out about this, such as face-offs and weigh-ins happening at the Lincoln Memorial. There'll also be fighters warming up inside of the White House. I think that they said, like, the walkouts are going to happen through the Oval Office or something. Like, it's a lot. Very American. And then the fights are going to be taking place on the lawn. I don't know if it's the south lawn or something, or the left lawn. I forgot what it's called. I don't know. Pretty cool information to come out, though. Still no card. I mean, we're, what? 9 months away from it? 10 months away from it? Obviously no card yet. We'll probably be getting announcements in April? That even seems like too soon. I don't know. It'll be a while, but this card is confirmed to be happening, period. We are going to the White House in 2026 in June. Our next news brings us to Bryan the Butcher Battle. You know what I'm saying? Bryan Battle, you know what I'm saying? He's got, because he always says, you know what I'm saying, by the way, which is why I'm saying that. That's like his thing. Bryan Battle, this is going to be probably the last time I ever talk about him. I can't see him ever getting signed back to the UFC. He went 11-0-1, or 11-1-1 in the UFC, or something like that, or 8-1-1. I don't know. This is depressing, though. I was a Bryan Battle fan after the Kevin Jousset knockout. I mean, who wasn't? That was like the perfect heel promo ever. I know you didn't think the Butcher was going to lose in a fist fight to a French dude. In France, he's saying this. Bryan Battle going to PFL. Really depressing. Just won at DBX. What, 2 weeks ago? Last week? I don't know. Who cares? He's getting passed around like a blunt. It says Tears of Gold Art on Instagram. Dude's unprofessional. Misses the fuck out of his weight. Gets cut from UFC for missing weight. Goes to dirty boxing on 1 week's notice. Gets a knockout victory. And then 3 days later signs with PFL. not only this, he was on Ariel recently. He was on Ariel, I think, on Monday, and he said, if you can beat anybody in the PFL, you can beat anybody anywhere. What the fuck world are you living in, Bryan Battle? I think that he's huffing. What is going on? Huffing copium, dude. He's coping so hard with the fact that the UFC released him on a winning record because he's undisciplined and can't make weight. He's coping. He was out partying that night that he got cut. I was such a Bryan Battle fan. Even going into that fight week, I was a Bryan Battle fan. I know he robbed the fuck out of Randy Brown. He robbed Randy Brown, and he missed weight on that fight as well. I was such a big Bryan Battle fan. I'm off the train, big time. I don't like him. Bloodsport MMA says, Bryan Battle's downfall is insane. Whoever advises him to these decisions is horrible. I feel like it's himself, dude. Like, no one advised him to miss weight. He's just a fucking moron. Anyways. Jon Jones says that he's not retired. He lied. Not interested, says Coachy Loco CPM. Coachy Loco CPM says not interested. I agree. He was on a red carpet. Where was he? I don't even know. I forget where he was, but god damn. He was on a red carpet somewhere, and he was interviewed by his own, like, media person. It wasn't even a red carpet interview. Like, he just set up himself getting interviewed by someone that works for him. But he said, I'm not retired. I'm actively training 5 days a week, and I'm in the UFC's drug testing pool. I'm training for the White House event. I'll be ready for the event, but ultimately it's up to the boss. Bro, you're not getting on the White House event. You're not getting on the White House card. Dana has a completely valid reason to not put you on that card. Yes, you're a big sell. You're a big draw. But so is the fucking White House, bro. You're not outselling the White House, first of all. Second of all, you have fucked up so many events in the past, they do not want to risk you being on this card. They've had to cancel event. They've had to move event. They had to move an event from Las Vegas to California on fight week because you popped for drugs. They're not putting you on the White House card. He's just saying to stay in the fucking media. It's pissing me off. Final thing before we get to some actually fun stuff. Paul Craig. He is retired. Paul Craig. I can't really do a Scottish accent, but I'll try it. Nope, I'm Paul Craig. He's retired. Can't do it. Just can't do it. I just can't do a Scottish accent. It's just not possible for me. But he did retire. He got elbowed bad. In the end of the first round, like 1 second left, Modestas Bukauskas throws this fucking elbow, dude. And Paul, what were we doing in that fight, bro? Pulling guard? Big 25 and we're pulling guard? I don't know. And Modestas was clearly not scared of grappling with him because he entered his guard earlier in the fight. So Modestas was not afraid of grappling. Paul Craig pulls guard. Modestas goes, I'm just going to punch you in the head because that's what you do when someone pulls guard. Then there's like a second left in the round. Paul Craig is like not really paying attention. He's ready to get up. And Modestas throws his fucking nasty elbow over the top that splits the ear of Paul Craig. Like from here, like here to like here, split. Bleeding bad from this elbow. Like, it hit him fucking bad, dude. It was a nasty, nasty elbow. And Paul Craig announced his retirement after that. Good on him. Get out of the game. Lineal, I mean, not anymore because he lost to Modestas, but lineal champion of middleweight division. He has a win over the current champion. Sorry, light heavyweight, I meant, not middleweight. He has a win over the current champion of light heavyweight. Just saying. Anyways. That's all for the news. We're going to get to some Dana White's Contender Series news here now. I like breaking these down on our little videos here. It's kind of fun. First fight of week 5. Not the best framing for this video. Goes to decision, but it is a women's fight. Can I be honest with you, though? Like, yes, it's a women's fight that went to decision. One of the best fights I've seen this month, I think. This was a fucking barn burner from stop to go. Nope. From go to stop. Carol Farrow gets the job done. Knocked her down a bunch. Knocked down her opponent a lot. I mean, they're both beat up clearly. You can see the blood coming off of her opponent, Ford. No. What was her opponent called? Dyer. And she was put in a dire situation. That was my joke during the night when she got knocked down. She's in a dire situation. Anyways. Great first fight to see on Dana White's Contender Series. Both of them awarded UFC contracts. I believe that Dyer is like... This person says that Dyer will get another Dana White's Contender Series fight later in the year. Wrong. She got signed. She got a contract. She used to fight at PFL. She has like head kick knockout. She was spamming head kicks in the last 35 seconds of the fight. It was crazy. It was actually a good as fuck fun fight to watch. Might go back and watch that one again. Second fight. Freddie Vidal gets a finish in the last, minute 2? 2 minutes. He gets a finish. Not a good fight. I'm going to be honest, not a good fight. Freddie Vidal was on 6 days' notice. He was out-wrestled. He was out-grappled. I think it was 1-1 going into the last round, though. I think he won the first round because, yes, he was out-grappled, and he was held for a lot of the round, but when he reversed and got on top, he started throwing punches and doing damage, which I think won him the round. He didn't have it for very long. It was like a minute and a half of control time. But because of his activity, because he was throwing punches, he was damaging his opponent. I think that he won that round. Second round comes around. They're both gassed. We're in light heavyweight division, and we're both gassed in round 2. From wrestling and like not crazy Moreno versus Figgy wrestling. Not Moreno versus Figgy wrestling. Boring wrestling. And they're both gassed by the second rounds. As this person says, the cardio for both of them was so fun bad. Holy bro, from IRLLB. You can see his profile picture there is the dude from Gorillas. He does not get awarded a contract. He does end up finishing the fight, though, with a rear naked choke in the last few seconds. He doesn't get awarded a contract, but Dana said that he's going to fight on week 10 again with a full camp. Well, full camp. He's going to have a 5 weeks camp. And he's going to fight on Dana White's Contender Series Season 9 week 10. 2 appearances, 1 year. Because, again, it was 6 days notice. He missed weight. And it wasn't a good fight. But at the same time, you got to kind of feel for the guy. So, honestly, he was pretty likable as well. Like, the interviews were pretty good with him. You know, he's like a fucking high school teacher or something. He works at a high school football team. Dude's sick. Love to see that. He's going to get mauled in the UFC, but I think he'll do well in his second fight. I hope he does, bro. Get a knockout or something early. We don't want to see that gas tank again. Put a statement on it. Be Joe Pyfer. Third fight. DWCS week 5 ends early. Samuel Sanchez, Woody from Toy Story, when he sees Andy walk in the room, you'll see exactly what that means in a moment. But he was faking. I will say, it is fake. This finish is fake. Samuel Sanchez definitely paid his opponent here. Watch this finish. And you maybe can't see it from this angle, but we'll see. Beautiful shots. That doesn't connect! The shot that puts him out doesn't. Now, I understand the shot that actually put him out is the right. Was it the hook to the temple? And he kind of like staggers for a second and then he just drops. But it looks like he thought he was going to get clipped with that left hook. And the left hook misses, but he drops like he's been knocked out. Well, watch it again. I like that Instagram automatically doesn't have sound for me. We had that issue last week. Look at him bringing the stool fast as fuck. Samuel Sanchez, here we go. So he lands this hook. Nice hook to the body. Drops the guard. Jab up top. Big hook incoming from the left. And watch where it lands. Right on the side of the temple. Right on the side of the temple. And it hurts him. You can see it hurts him. Look at his reaction to that. That's a shot that affects you. Bad. Left hook coming in now. Which, again, it looks like he sees his left hook coming and goes, oh shit, this is going to hurt. I'm going to act like I'm knocked out. Let's see. Completely whiffs. Completely. And he's still standing. Completely whiffs. And then, what the fuck did he get hit with? Samuel Sanchez, crazy power. Good finish. It was fake, though. Even Philly Fresh UFC, who is that? Philip Rowe says that he was faking. Phil Rowe, not on my good books right now. He was kind of weird about the Rajah Jackson situation. Next fight, Larian Douglas fights Cam Teague. Cam Teague, if you recognized him, it's because, adjust my microphone, it's because he fought against Kevin Vallejos on the Contender Series last year, and he was put unconscious by Kevin Vallejos. He's the ginger here, so you can clearly see what's about to happen. Larian MMA, Larian Douglas, not two guys, by the way. First name Larian, last name Douglas. It's not Larry and Douglas. I know that's how it sounds, but why does he have Oliveira tattooed on his chest? I don't know. You can see here he's landing on a clean, is it a jab? I don't know if it was a jab or a hook. Right to the jaw of Cam Teague. Sits him down here. Boom. Sits him down. Cam Teague struggling to stand up, but he does. Referee, what are we doing? Flatlined. Larry and Douglas both caught bodies. There he is freaking out about it. You can see he comes over. You can see the Oliveira on his chest. It's kind of hard to read, though. Not a good... I mean, it looks nice. The art is not... Oh. Like, he gets clipped badly right on the jaw. The art is nice. Hard to read. And also, why do you have Oliveira tattooed on your chest, bro? I'm just wondering. Look at it. Drops him badly there. Referee. Honestly, don't step in. Well, why did you go to this side? He's still hurt badly here, Cam Teague. Backs up to the fence. Does he get dropped again? Not really. Gets stunned. Maybe just like a push or something. You make me sick from Fazeev Gooner in the group chat there. Cam Teague, you can still be kneed, by the way. And if you're in this position, Cam Teague, I don't know if you know this. Probably not thinking of it because you've just been concussed, but just saying, you can still be kneed and kicked in the head if you are in this position. New rule set as of November. Stands up. Oh, that's so clean on the jaw. You can barely see it, but that's so clean on the jaw. Dead. Dead body. Dead. That guy's a dead guy. And Larry and Douglas both freaking out over that win. I think that's his guns, by the way. This one's Larry and this one's Douglas. That was a dumb joke. Cut that. Final fight. Stephen Asplund, former, I think he said he was 520 pounds. Makes 261. Not look that good. I'm going to be honest with you. There was some stuff going on, all right? He kept grabbing his nipples and doing this. When he won the fight, he kept grabbing his nipples and doing this. Crazy. 16-second knockout over his opponent. There they are. What, are we going to see him grab? No, they cut it because he kept grips in his fucking nipples. And I'm not going to Stephen Asplund. I don't want to go to Stephen Asplund. Although maybe he has it on his Instagram. We're going to get on to some fights here. Fights that have been announced, fights that have been confirmed, and some fights that are off. This one's in the works, allegedly. Sean O'Malley taking on Song Yadong for UFC 223 on December 6th. Here's the thing. Love this fight, by the way. I will say, I love this fight. SYD is going to win this fight. SYD has come out denying the rumors of this from MMA scientists who, I know, it's kind of zoomed in. I know it looks sketch because Chinese. MMA scientist is the account from which I got the from which I got the Mackenzie Dern. Yeah. MMA Scientist is the account from which I got the Mackenzie Dern versus Virna Jandiroba title fight information from. So I trust this account as of right now. Maybe my microphone fell on my thumb. Maybe that this is not happening. Kung Fu Boy Song Yadong denied that UFC 223, which will be held on December 6th, will play against Honey Show Sean O'Malley. This is from, again, MMA Scientist. Very, well, trustworthy source. Maybe this will not be happening. Benny P, you're in my black book? Blacklist? Benny P, you're not in my good books, buddy. A lot of this news, by the way, is coming from Kevin. Shout out Kevin. Come on the show. He also announced, which was confirmed, that Paulo Costa will be taking on Shara Magomedov for UFC Qatar in a co-main event on November 22nd. Not a pay-per-view, but a fight night in Qatar. Shara Bullet pulled out. Is there a reason? Doesn't say, but I do know that Paulo Costa was quite upset about this. Shara got his nose shattered by a Canadian Frenchman. All right? Paulo Costa was going to maul this guy. Next! Fatima Klein is taking on Angela Overkill Hill. Angela Hill fucking did something recently. I probably didn't watch it. I don't remember it. What does she do? I actually think I did not watch her fight, but I feel like I remember. I was in my room when it happened. I think I just wasn't paying attention or something. Fatima Klein, pretty decent on the feet. I like Fatima Klein. I think she'll actually take it. I'm a big Angela Hill supporter, but Fatima Klein's pretty underrated, bro. I got Fatima Klein to take this fight. Not really going to break it down too much because who cares? They're trying to kill Angela, though. They keep giving her fucking nasty prospects. Dante Johnson, 5'8" heavyweight, I believe. He just fought on Contender Series not this week, but he fought on this season. I think he fought in maybe week 2. He will be taking on Nick Klein for his UFC debut in the Apex. We're back to the Apex on November 1st. Unfortunately, we are back to the Apex. We had a good couple months off, but we are back to the Apex. This is not a good fight. I mean, surely he's going to, like, what is Nick Klein? Middleweight? No, I was right. They are cutting to middleweight. I was right. They are going to middleweight. Dante Johnson, no idea why he fought on Contender Series at heavyweight with, like, such a massive disadvantage. And he was, like, 208 pounds. 220 pounds or something. He's cutting to middleweight. Big man. Good on him. If he is knocking out heavyweights, by the way, this dude has fucking insane power. I believe this is his 6th professional fight, or 7th. He's taking on Nick Klein. By the way, 6th fight this year, no? For Dante Johnson's 6th MMA fight this year. We're going to go with Dante Johnson to win this one. Nick Klein kind of sucks. Next fight, Puna Hale. I don't know why he just has Puna. It's Puna Hale Soriano taking on Nikolai Veretennikov. I'm very bad about this. Puna is starching him, and I won't be surprised if it's in the first round. Am I insane? Thank God that's not the guy I thought it was. Dude, I mixed up who Veretennikov and whoever that model dude is. That German model guy who fought in New Orleans. I mixed up them two. Thank God they're not giving that guy to Puna Hale Soriano. Puna Hale, I thought of him recently, like within the last few weeks. I was like, what's Puna Hale up to? Because he hasn't really been doing much. I feel like he hasn't fought in forever. He's like 1-4 in UFC or something. It's crazy. Like, he does not have a good UFC record. 2-5 or something. He does not have a good UFC record. I was very upset to see that they were putting him against the guy who I thought they were putting him against, but they're not. They're putting him against Nikolai Veretennikov, who's also kind of a can. He got finished by Austin Vanderford. That's not a good win. That's not a good loss, I should say. Got finished by Austin Vanderford. Puna Hale Soriano, if you recognize him, he's from, I don't know what he's from. I don't even know what his last fight was, but he won the fight by knockout. And he's like, he goes up to the camera after his interview and everything, and he goes, "Ugh." He does like that, like he's fucking jizzing, bro. It was weird. It made me a fan, though. I like Punahele Soriano. Followed him on Instagram after that. Didn't get a follow back. Just saying, a little bit offended from him. What are we doing, Punahele? Follow me back, bro. Come on the show. Next fight, Bisanger Susurkayev. I figured out how to say it. Is fighting Eric McConaughey. I think I said it right? Did I? At UFC 322 on November 15th. Bisanger having his second. He fought on week one. He fought 4 weeks ago on Contender Series. Fought that weekend at UFC. And now he's fighting again on November 15th. Very active. I love to see it from Bisanger Susurkayev. Kind of minus aura at the end of his first UFC fight, though. He gets on the microphone and he goes, "Everybody say it with me." And he starts chanting his own name. Nobody else said it. Nobody else chanted with him. So, pretty funny to watch. Pretty sad. Almost as bad as, by the way, I wanted to make a video about this weekend, but I just didn't have the time. There was some guy, was like Robert Brychek. He wins and he gets on the mic and he goes, "Guys, I have to say one thing. Never, ever believe yourself and give up." Polish people have phenomenal advice, bro. That's all I'll say about that. But that's fucking hilarious. I don't know why he said that. Bisanger wanted to get the crowd to chant his name, but it was his UFC debut. So unless there's hardcores who are watching Contender Series, nobody knows nobody knows your name, Lil Bro. He's going, "Bisanger. Nobody's saying it in the arena. And he does it like 5 or 6 times. Nobody said a word. It was awkward, bro. And it was quiet, too. Like, it's not like people were talking and didn't hear. Like, the arena was quiet listening to him talk, and just nobody knew his name, so he didn't say anything. It was bad. Minus aura. But he's taking on Eric McConaughey. Eric McConaughey, kind of a can. I got Bisanger in this fight. Like Sean talks, but talks, like the L in talks is an I for some reason. Sean Talks Sports says total layup. I agree. Eric McConaughey sucks. He's not that good. Next fight, Mateusz Rambecki is taking on Ludovic Klein. Ludovic Klein, I'm going to be honest with you guys. His last fight was dog shit. I didn't even watch it. I was shitting during his last fight, and I was like so hyped for this fight. And I'm like, fuck, no. I have to go to the washroom. Go to the washroom. I'm checking my phone. Everybody's going, "This fight sucks." So I just stayed shitting. I watched 0 seconds of his last fight because I was having a dookie. I was having ginormous. What am I talking about? Mateusz Rambecki's last fight was a fucking banger. He's on back-to-back Fight of the Year contenders. Mateusz Rambecki, he puts on a war every single time he goes in. He didn't get the nod in his last fight, even though I thought that he won it. It was against Duncan Colson. It was a banger fight regardless. Chris Duncan versus Mateusz Rambecki. Amazing fight. Before that, he fought Miktabek Oralbai in another amazing fight. This dude's a gamer. This should be a banger. Ludovic Klein. Let's go, buddy. Yeah, I did shit during that fight because it was dog shit. Mateusz Rambecki will probably... I don't know. He might take this, bro, but he's taking a lot of damage in kind of a short amount of time. So, I mean, I guess the Miktabek fight was like December last year, though, so... Not that short. I'm going to go with Mateusz Rambecki to win this fight. I'm a big fan. Next fight. Matt, the Steamroller Frivola, is taking on Kyle the Monster Nelson. Kyle Nelson has a white boy name, and the Steamroller is a horrible nickname. Steamroller, I don't even remember what his last fight was, but I remember some more. He has crazy knockouts. He's got good power. I do also remember him getting kneed in the face by BSD or kicked in the face. They were coming out of the clinch, and I think BSD throws like a high kick, and it catches him right on the jaw because he's dropped his hands when exiting the clinch for some reason, and he gets clipped badly, knocked out clean by Benoit Saint-Denis. Unless it was that he ducked down to get out of the clinch and a knee came up. I don't know. I forget. I'm pretty sure it was that he's coming out of the clinch, drops his hands, and gets kicked in the face. Second on Kyle Nelson. Kyle Nelson, I met him in Montreal for UFC 315. Super chill dude. He was getting a beer. And I was just like, yeah, are you Kyle Nelson? He was like, yeah, bro. I was like, can I get a photo? He was like, sure, bro. Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm not going to put up the photo because my hair, oh my God, dude. I'm so embarrassed by it. Anyways, we're probably going to go with Kyle the Monster Nelson and win this fight. But the Pablo curse does exist. So Matt the Steamroller Frivola due to Kyle the Monster Nelson being cursed. Next. Felipe Lima is coming back after his devastating loss to Peyton Talbot. He's taking on Daniel Marcos. Daniel Marcos, I don't remember what he did recently. Red hair. I think he fought he fought in Mexico against some Mexican guy, and like the Mexican guy was a really hyped prospect, and everyone thought he was going to do crazy, and then he got mauled. I think that was Daniel Marcos. Do I know this sport? I don't think I know this sport. He lost to Montel Jackson in May 3rd. Don't remember that fight, probably boring. Beat Adrian Yanez by split decision. This dude's a decision merchant. He hasn't finished somebody since Simon Oliveira. Never mind. Even worse guy. He has one UFC finish, and it's Simon Oliveira. This fucking guy. You know this guy? Guy who got finished twice in a row. David Martinez also finished him. Fighting this weekend, by the way, David Martinez. So I think he will lose to Rob Fonts this weekend. I'm not going to make a video about the predictions because I honestly don't. Like, bro, I was looking at it. I don't know half of these people, bro. Fuck, I don't even know half of these people. No, I know. This is not a good card. Why is David Martinez in the co-main event? Anyways. Felipe Lima is going to win this fight. He's actually a genuinely good fighter. He did lose to Peyton Talbot, but he was also moving up a weight class for that fight. I got Felipe Lima to win this. He's pretty damn good. Next fight, who cares? Macy Barber versus Karine Silva. Karine Silva's a fucking can. Macy Barber was supposed to fight Aaron Blanchfield and then has a seizure minutes before the fight was supposed to happen. Who knows if this fight's even going to happen? She might seize again. Macy Barber's going to win this fight. And finally, Bo Nickel is making his return to MMA to fight Rodolfo Vieira. Kind of a layup, but Bo Nickel's way more of a can than we think. Bo Nickel sucks. And then he got finished. He got hit by a good fighter one time and was like, I'm doing professional wrestling. And then he did professional wrestling and went, MMA is way easier. We're going Bo Nickel to win this fight. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. It's only 2 clicks. All right. I feel like, you know, when you were watching those ads about like honey, when honey was a thing, and they're like, yeah, download honey. It's only 2 clicks. That's how I feel right now. Subscribe and like the video. It's only 2 clicks. It doesn't take that much of your time. If I do not make a video on Sunday, I will be back next week with the news on Wednesday. Proper scheduling of everything. Again, we had no power yesterday, which is why I didn't make a video. They're doing construction near the house of a train station, and they shut off power, so. Cool. Bye. See you next time.